Hello and welcome to SDN Tech Forum. Today I'm going to present a very exciting topic which I was thinking about for some time. Cisco plug and play versus zero touch provisioning, commonly called PnP versus ZTP. So these are like industry term, and sometime you think they are well overlapping terms. So what is the difference between PnP and zero touch? At the same time, we are going to take a deep dive, especially into Cisco PnP, and try to understand different workflow roles under the hood kind of things for PnP. At the same time, we will touch base on industry standard ZTP, and finally, we are going to compare and contrast that how they fare in compared to each other. All right, before I go to the uh, agenda, this is not the first time we are talking about PNP. So on my channel, if you go to SDN Tech Forum and search with PNP, you will certainly find a few videos where I'm talking about PNP. I would like to recommend two of them. The first is DNAC plug and play. In this video, I'm talking about DNAC workflow of plug and play. So it's more about how to do PNP using DNA Center. And then the second is a rapid use case of PNP, which we saw in LAN automation during SD Access Bootcamp. So when you do LAN automation within your fabric, SD Access fabric, you use PNP capability to apply discover device and apply configuration and configure routing, etc. So if you want to learn more about, it's a good starting point. Go watch this video. Now let's come back to the agenda. So what do we have in agenda today? Introduction to PNP and ZTP. We'll talk about PNP overview, look at the PNP capabilities. Then we will understand Cisco PnP workflow, and we will do the same thing for ZTP or zero touch provisioning. Finally, I'll show you a cool demo. Basically, we are not going to build anything, but we will do a postmortem of a previous PnP to understand more about the functioning of it. All right. So very quickly, PnP or plug and play and ZTP, zero touch provisioning, are two technologies used in networking to simplify configuration and installation of network devices. Without this technology, think of it uh, enterprise or a company. They have, when they want to bring up a device, they need to send a field engineer. He has to plug it, and then you need to have another engineer who understand the configuration and design, and somebody has to configure that. So there is a lot of lead time and expenses involved. Now with this kind of technology, PnP and ZTP, you can automate the entire workflow, which result in faster time to market, a lot of savings, dollar savings. All right, I'm going to play a video where we are going to talk in detail about PnP workflow, PnP capabilities, and the same thing for a ZTP. So go watch this video, and then we will come back and look at the PnP and ZTP workflow in detail, and finally we will understand the demo part. All right, so enjoy the video.
Agenda, PnP versus ZTP. Demystifying Cisco plug and play versus zero touch provisioning. Let's understand Cisco network PnP features. Central management. Support switch stacks and wireless. Mobile application. Automatic discovery of Cisco DNA Center. Secure device authentication. Configuration templates. The Cisco network plug and play solution offers these features. Simplified and consistent deployment of Cisco network devices. Automated and centrally managed remote device deployment from the Cisco DNA Center. A converged solution for Cisco routers, switches, and wireless access point devices. Support for switch stacks with up to 9 members in Cisco Network Plug and Play version 1.2 and later. Cisco Network Plug and Play discovers stack members by identifying a single member switch and allows provisioning of the whole stack as one unit, without needing to provision each stack member individually. Device discovery of the Cisco DNA Center controller through DHCP, DNS, a proxy server, or the cloud through Cisco Network Plug and Play Connect. Predefined configurations and images can be pushed out as devices come online. Configuration templates that allow an administrator to define a template of CLI commands that can be used to consistently configure multiple network devices, reducing deployment time. Mobile iOS or Android application that helps the device installer to bootstrap devices and monitor installation from a remote site. Secure device authentication and communication using secure unique device identifiers, SUDIs, and certificates that are stored in a Cisco Managed Trust Pool bundle, which is a special store of certificates that trusted certificate authorities sign. Cisco Information Security publishes these certificates. Let's move on to understand Cisco Network Plug and Play solution components. Network Plug and Play, PnP, allows switches, routers, and wireless access points to be onboard to the network. An agent in the device connects to Cisco DNA Center and downloads the required software and device configuration. A PnP solution has the following main components. 1. Cisco PnP iOS agent, which is embedded in Cisco devices and looks for a controller when the device is first booted up. The agent communicates with the DNA Center using the open Cisco PnP protocol over HTTPS during device deployments. 2. A PnP server is a service running on Cisco DNA Center. Cisco DNA Center is the Cisco SDN controller for enterprise networks. The platform hosts multiple SDN applications that use open northbound REST application programming interfaces, APIs, that drive core network automation solutions. The platform also supports several southbound protocols that enable it to communicate with the breadth of network devices that customers have in place, and extend the SDN benefits to new and existing environments. 3. The PnP protocol allows the agent and the controller to communicate. 4. Cisco PnP Connect is an optional cloud component for automatic Cisco Network PnP server discovery, if the DHCP or DNS methods are not available. The Cisco Network PnP server is the backend part of the Cisco Network PnP application in Cisco DNA Center. The Cisco Network device contacts the Cisco PnP Connect cloud service at devicehelper.cisco.com to obtain the IP address of the correct Cisco Network PnP server that is defined for your organization. Cisco Network Plug and Play workflow. Since Cisco Network Plug and Play works with Cisco DNA Center, the workflow will include many concepts and features from Cisco DNA Center. __design step __ is where IP address pools and site-specific settings like credentials, DNS, and authentication, authorization, and accounting, AAA, are defined in Cisco DNA Center. A network profile is defined in Cisco DNA Center also, which includes the design of the network device functions and their internal network connectivity. Finally, the network profile is mapped to one or more sites in Cisco DNA Center. The site hierarchy is also defined in this phase. Claim step happens once the device is connected to the network and it uses Cisco Network Plug and Play to discover the Cisco DNA Center controller and will appear as an unclaimed device. The claim process simply assigns the device to a site. Provision step happens once the device is assigned to a site, and it can be provisioned. This step places device-specific settings, for example, interfaces. Most of this information was previously defined in the design, so it cannot be changed. Once the services are up, the network device uses Cisco Network Plug and Play to obtain the device configuration. ZTP, Zero Touch Provisioning. To address network provisioning challenges, Cisco introduced a ZTP model. ZTP automates the process of installing or upgrading software images and installing configuration files on Cisco devices that are deployed in a network for the first time. This reduces manual tasks required to scale the network capacity. Demo time.
As you heard me talking about PnP and ZTP, more on that in other video. Let's go ahead and understand, take a look at the workflow one more time. right, in detail this time. So this is what we discussed, right? For a PnP to work, we have a Cisco SUDI capable device which has the agent installed. It's run PnP agent, and on bring up, it can use various methods, not just DHCP and DNS, which I'm illustrating here. As we go to demo, you will see there are various other methods actually you can use. But for our brevity, let's use DHCP and DNS as one of the method. So PnP agent running on that device, it try to talk to PnP server via PnP protocol over HTTPS connection, right? And once it is able to talk to PnP server, which is Cisco DNA Center in this case, it go through different stages like onboarding, claim, and provisioning, and get the final configuration. So basically here what is happening, the agent, when it find that there is no bootstrap config or startup config, it start the PnP process, and one of the PnP processes DSCP discover messages. So it start broadcasting DSCP discover message with some vendor string. um, DSCP server listen to those discover message, and it replies. It replies with the required IP address and gateways, but at the same time, we heavily utilize options. So we are going to use option 43 with a string option 60. So what comes with this option is IP address, encoded IP address of your Cisco DNAC. And once our PnP agent device received this IP address, it tried to contact DNAC again via PnP protocol over HTTPS and go through the lifecycle. Pretty simple, right? Same thing applies for DNS. So if there is no DSCP server which can support option 43, you can also use DNS PnP server. In a corner case scenario, or mostly in SD-WAN scenario, you will see we also use PnP in SD-WAN, but during that time, since DHCP server may not be available in the same network, because then we are talking about branch use cases. So what we do, we use cloud-based solutions, which is called PnP Connect. This is a Cisco cloud-hosted platform. Your device reach out to that, authenticate itself with a serial IP address and other thing, and upon authentication, PnP Connect redirect you to on-prem controller. In this case, it is Cisco DNA Center, but it can be any other controller as well, right? So this is the complete functioning of PnP. I hope now you'll be able to explain it to other. However, ZTP, zero touch provisioning, you'll see this is more of a manual solution. So what are the steps involved? You have a device which may not have to run anything, right? It doesn't have to have any agent or anything. It's just a plain vanilla device. Then you have a DSCP server, or and also you have a TFTP server. So what are the roles? Here, the network device, upon boot, it finds that there is no startup configuration. So start with DSCP discover, standard method. These DSCP discover messages arrive at DSCP server. DSCP server replies with IP address and other information, but it also uses option 67, which tell you where you can get your bootstrap file. And it uses option 150, DSCP option 150, which tell you which IP address this file is hosted, right? So now agent has, or the network device has these two information, and they use that information to go to TFTP server, and TFTP server in turn will supply the configurations, right? So here you will see that you have to maintain a few things like DSCP server, TFTP server, and configure a script. So it's more of a manual task. However, Cisco PnP plug and play is more of a turnkey solution. That means you don't have to write script. That functionality is available on DNA Center itself, and encoding, other things, everything is like out of box. That's why it's so easy. So one is industry standard. Those Cisco also have their own ZTP, which is available in Cisco Nexus devices, but nowadays they are moving towards PnP only. So one is industry standard, one is pretty much Cisco standard, but both they are doing the same thing. All right. Now let's talk about the config, right? And now we are focusing on Cisco PnP. So when you remember when we did a LAN automation and we have one seed device, this is what was happening on seed device. During LAN automation, Cisco DNA Center configure a DSCP configuration on seed device. As you can see, we have a DSCP pool with network and option 43. I want you to pay attention to option 43. This option 43 is nothing but a controller IP address encoded into it, right? It's an ASCII string which has a controller IP address encoded it in. And also it has a class Cisco PnP, which comes as option 60. So uh, if you have devices like your switches, your APs, your WLC, there are different device class, right? So how you will differentiate all, how PnP server will differentiate among them, they differentiate among by using option 60 vendor string. So if you have a vendor string, you can actually very well expand this to a third party solution as well. So two capabilities to keep in mind, option 43, option 60. This is how the DSCP server configuration looks like, and DNAC totally orchestrated themselves, put it on seed device. For routing purposes, as you can see, it also provides the initial routing information. This information will change obviously going forward, but for initial communication, it assign a IP address to interface VLAN 1, and the same IP address will be IP address will be assigned to the agents, right? So initial routing in interface VLAN 1, and after that we will change to the desired configuration. This is another log. So if you are watching the console screen of PnP device, you will see there a bunch of logs are coming, and I just captured a snippet of that. As you can see, configured, uh, it receive a string from DHCP server, and PnP agent discovered that it has option 43 has 5A. That means it is for PnP, and then it strip 5A and try to figure out what is the controller IP address, right? And after that, PnP workflow completes and you get the final configuration. That's how you will see the neighborship will start coming up. Right. Some PnP show commands. So once you do a PnP discovery of your on your switch or router, you will see in Flash you should see a file called PnP Tech Discovery Summary. So this has everything, all the methods a PnP agent has tried to get the configuration and what is the result and everything. So this is a very big file. Obviously, you can um, open it and try to read, but it has huge information. So what else you can do? You can use show command to get more information about PnP. And I'm listing a few show command here. We'll see that there are a lot more, but I'm listing a few show command which can help us tell the story that what happened to PnP during PnP. All right, so let's go to the device. So this is one of the device uh, where we perform the LAN automation. And now let me start putting those configuration show commands. So you can see show PnP discovery. Let's first do show flash PnP. That's better, so that we know that we have. Okay. We'll come to this command in a bit. First, let's check what we have in flash. As you can see, we have a couple of things in flash, but I'm only interested in PnP Tech Discovery Summary. You can Open this by doing more flash and then the file name. This is plain English human readable file, but very quickly you will realize that it has too much information and sometimes not easy to comprehend, right? So what we will do, we will stick to some show commands. Show all the PNP show commands start with show PNP question mark. You will see there are a list of commands here, and all these commands tell you a very good information. So let's start with show PNP discovery info, because we know that in this device we have done a PNP. Okay, typo. All right, so auto, you can see these are the all the methods which you can use for PNP. PNP discovery, you can see run count was 1, and right now there is no active PNP discovery. We have PNP server called pnpserver.domain if you are using DNS name. Then you have DNS resolution stat, PNP CCO discovery, PNP NAB discovery, web UI discovery, NTP, SNTP, trust pools, CCO, and so on. So there are multiple types of discovery you can make using PNP. All right, let's go to our other command, which is show PNP capabilities. So these are the different capabilities or action you can perform using PNP, right? It's PNP. Our use case is very simple. Configure a device as soon as it comes up in the network and configure that device with the required configuration. But you can do a lot using PNP. You can synchronize the configuration and all those things. So it's a good list. Take a look, read through it. As you heard in the video that PNP can also recognize stack. So to do that, PNP stack info, you can use PNP stack info. As you can see, I don't have stack here, it's just one switch. So that's why it is showing me one switch. Otherwise, you will can see all the config, all the switch member if I have a stack. Then PNP bootstrap, you can see how many methods we have. Discovery method count, almost 15 method we have for PNP, IPv4, IPv6, DSCP, DNS, CCO, web UI, vBond. As I mentioned, vManage SD-WAN also uses PNP, right? So these many type of discovery you can perform. And finally, I'm going to show you PNP status or performance status. And this will give you the performance status around all those different ways of PNP. As you can see, PNP redirection, PNP SNMP, syslog, and whatnot, right? Everything related to PNP you can see here. PNP also has a very cool um, command called show PNP topology, and I really like this because it's like show CDP neighbor, especially the first part, right? I can see all my neighbors here. That where PN, what is the PNP view look like? What where it is seeing what, right? And all those things are here. PNP interface tracking is also information is also available. So I hope, and if you run into a problem, you can also do show PNP tech support, and this is like a code dump kind of file which you can generate and share with TAC so that they can look debug into your problem. But we are not going to do that because our PNP was successful. But this is exactly how the PNP works, right? And a picture explain it really well. At the same time, you can see things in action, um, going to the device, right? That what method we use, what was received as a part of that method, and how we eventually got the configuration. So I hope it help you demystify PNP and ZTP, help you explain the process to others. And if you have any doubt or further questions, feel free to write that in comment section. I may try to put another video, maybe go deeper, uh, and help you any ways I can. So please do like, subscribe, and share the interesting content with your friends. Thank you for watching.